Welcome back, comrades. This is Gaming with Austin, and today we're going towards Season 1, Episode 139 of the Utopian Community series. Like, what music would be allowed in the communist country if most music would actually be allowed. As long as it doesn't promote capitalism or Nazism, it's good. Because capitalism destroys... Capitalism literally imprisons people into a perpetual state of poverty, regardless of what they do. Once you go into poverty, it's hard to get out, until socialism comes along and breaks the chains. And literally starts breaking the chains. And literally starts to break the chains. That'll keep people in the chains are what keeps people in poverty. With the trade in the communist country, you'd have to barter or do work. You'd have to barter or do work to receive the product. Barter or do work. If you don't have anything to trade, you'd have to do labor. Instead of slapping people with fine, they would have to do community service. With the goal of the communist country, it's to create a moneyless, classless, and stateless society. Like, it would be a confederation. Now, in the communist country, I'd be the first general secretary. I'd be the first ruler. My cult of personality would emulate Vladimir Lenin's. And Leon Trotsky's cult of personality. Mostly Vladimir Lenin's cult of personality. one of the policies within the communist country would be, you're not allowed to eat animals alive, because they feel pain the same way we do. If an octopus was able to speak, people that eat them alive, the octopus would scream when they get eaten alive. They'd be screaming in pain. Not only it's dangerous to eat Sanakji, it's also pretty cruel. It's pretty sadistic. It's pretty sadistic. Just because meat say halal, it's never meat from a factory farm is never halal, nor is it kosher. Meat from a factory farm is never halal. Because meat from a factory farm has the potential to make you really sick, even when cooked. Even when cooked, raw meat still has the potential to make you really sick. One of the propaganda posters that would be set up in the communist country would be, "Go vegan for the motherland." The communist ruler that did the most evil was Joseph Stalin. I'm a communist, yet I hate Stalin. He is when he ruled Russia with an iron fist, he was an anti-Semitic bigot. He was an anti-Semitic bigot. He really was an anti-Semitic bigot. He was an anti-Semitic bigot. Stalin was full of... He was a bigot. An anti-Semitic bigot. The greedy one that made the greedy jerk that made communism went from good to bad was Joseph Stalin. He wasn't greedy with money or anything. He kept his clothing simple. He was only greedy with power. He was a power-hungry jerk. Not all communists are evil. In fact, some of them did very good things. An example of a good guy communist is Josip Broz Tito. Josip Tito. In the next communist revolution, let's hope to see a vegan communist ruler. A communist ruler that is very compassionate towards both people and animals. Ceausescu, the ruler of Romania in the Cold War, he neglected his own people. He killed his own people through neglect. That's how he killed his own people. Mostly through neglect. For me, I'd impose a 5-year plan. And that 5-year plan, I'd make sure everybody has enough food. The death toll from the Holocaust, it's a lot more than you think. $50 million people died in the Holocaust. One of the crimes that happened, like, the Holocaust is a massive genocide program imposed by Nazi Germany. The Holocaust, one of the things that happened in the Holocaust, that started the Holocaust, was the Enabling Act. Of 1933. One thing Mao Zedong did that was good, even though he killed a lot of his own people, albeit indirectly, unintentionally. Like, for the most part, the good thing he did was he empowered women in China. Whenever it goes to political repression, I'd be very picky. When it goes to conservative politics, I'd discourage people from being open about those. Their conservatism. Will the circus be like in the motherland? There'd be no animals in the circus. Why? Concerns of animal welfare is the reason. When it goes to animal welfare in the circus. Wild animals belong in the wild. The 5-year plan. How am I going to do this? I know this might involve the use of drugs, but it's the best option out there. They'd be they'd be issued a dose of scopolamine. So they could bust her ass without hesitation. Because, you know, scopolamine is a drug. It's basically a brainwashing drug, literally. It's literally a mind control drug. Or maybe marijuana would do the trick too. I wouldn't want to execute people at all, because they have the right to live too. And everybody would be put to use in the 5-year plan. What's going to help them? What's going to facilitate them? The use of exoskeletons. Instead of just drugging them, powered exoskeletons can make things a lot easier. And intensive exercising. With computer cases that are made in a communist country, and competition would be limited. We would limit we would limit economic competition. And go towards mass production. Because one thing I hate about capitalism is they price gouge the shit out of everything. One thing I hate about capitalism is everything is so expensive now. Communism would do a better job. There'd be a price ceiling for everything. like depending on the value of other resources. And we Americans, like south of Vietnam used to be our ally in the Vietnam War, but then the government discovered it was turning fascist, which meant both sides were going against America. One of the end goals in the United People's Republic of America would be a cleaner America. Which means no more intensive animal farming. You know, in fascism, people are forced to compete to the death. I'd see Panama in the Hunger Games under President Snow. I'd see it as a fascist country, as people are forced to fight to the death. Intensive animal farming is one thing that's happening as a result of capitalism, which means extreme animal cruelty. We'll see a future in which we'll grow meat out of animal cells in a lab. No animal would be harmed in the making. But the problem is, cats wouldn't be able to eat that, because it lacks the necessary nutrients. They have to kill. The biggest factor in the death toll in the Stalinist countries in the Cold War was neglect. I oppose Stalinism. Both intentional and unintentional. Some of the deaths were in the Stalinist regimes were unintentional. My main critique against Chinese government is nationalism. Well, my end goals would be international communism. Another one would be world veganism, in which everybody will sustain themselves on a vegan diet. But cats wouldn't be able to sustain... But cats, you'd have to feed them meat. PETA wants you to believe that cats can go vegan. Truth is, cats cannot. They are obligate carnivores. Which means they must eat meat to survive. Put them on a vegan diet and they will die. But your dog Fido can go vegan. Your dog Fido can go vegan if you do it very carefully. Why hate the idea of a border wall around the United States of America? It disrupts the ecosystem. A border wall is not only being criticized by the liberals and the communists, they're potentially animal rights activists like the Humane Society of the United States, PETA, and Mercy for Animals want to stop the construction as it disrupts the ecosystem. Even though Hitler was mostly evil, some of the things he did were good. Like, being compassionate towards animals was a good thing. Ethnic cleansing, I see it as evil. I don't see it as good at all. Some natural instincts, we may want to get rid of those. Some of our natural instincts Greed is one of those natural instincts we have that we do not need anymore. The most humane way to get meat is to scavenge. That's actually the most humane option when it goes to getting meat. Scavenging is the most humane way. One way how we are going to make the meat industry suffer. I know this may be ironic, but stealing meat from stealing animals from factory farms would be a viable option. For the purpose of keeping them as pets. Some people out there in this world have pigs as pets. If I had a pet pig, I'd name him Pork Chop. Just like that Looney Tunes character, like the pig, his name is Porky Pig. The best way to fight capitalism is to ditch fast food altogether and go for healthy options. Because you're able to... There are homemade things you can do. Problem is, why capitalism still exists, there are people out there that are lazy as fuck. Homemade options are actually a lot healthier. You mesmerize Do anything. The communists did some good things too, like pioneer the use of pioneer abortions, which meant reduced maternal deaths. The most humane way to reduce abortion rates is birth control. the use of birth control. Anyways, this is it for this video. Don't forget to leave a like if you like this video. Dislike if you dislike this video. Subscribe to my channel for more. And share this with your comrades on social media. And as always, thank you for watching and peace out.